Dobry den,
Zdravейте!
and welcome back to our little Bulgarian adventure.
Rapidly approaching the end of September.
Yes, very much so. But we've had a lovely week this week weather-wise.
It's been really pleasant, yes.
And due to continue so?
I believe so for the next couple of weeks. Fingers crossed.
But our bad spell last week did make us think about autumn, winter.
Yes, winter is rapidly approaching.
And getting bits sorted for it.
Yeah. So with winter in mind, we've put together just a little kind of checklist of jobs that need to be done in time for winter, and this is what we come up with. It's approaching the end of September, and although the days are still warm and lovely, the evenings are getting chillier, the mornings are getting chillier, the leaves are beginning to fall from the trees. We have to start turning our attention towards winter. More importantly, our preparations, so that we have everything ready as and when we need it. There are the obvious preparations, things like making sure your firewood is ready. Ours has been cut, stacked and has been seasoning all summer. We still have some left to process, but that's the smaller stuff that's been drying. It just needs cutting into usable lengths. That's a job for Max, although I'm not sure he knows it yet. Here are some of our smaller sticks cut to length. These we're going to use in our pechka in our bedroom. The bigger pieces will probably be used in the larger pechka, which at the moment is in our kitchen. That will move, but we'll come to that when the time comes. So now that we've got our winter fuel ready, what are the other preparations we've got to do? Well, I've got a list of jobs that if you're out here you should be doing or have already done by now. Let's run through them one by one. One job that's quite important this time of year is making sure your gutters are clear, free of debris and leaves, and free flowing. This will need to be done throughout the winter, but make sure you've got it done in plenty of time, so that if you get caught by the occasional storm, as we did last night, it'll be ready to take as much water away from your house as possible. The end of the gutter that way is quite clear. I've been doing it fairly regularly, so we haven't got too much of a build-up. However, looking this way, you can see just how much leaves, debris, sticks have built up. So they'll need clearing so that the water can flow freely. When you see this is how much debris came out of just one gutter, you can see why it's well worth doing. If you do all the gutters around your house, there'll be plenty of leaf mulch and bits and pieces coming out, but your water will flow, your drainage will work properly, and you'll be protecting yourself in the long run. Another pre-winter job is checking your roof. You can usually do this inside by just going up, having a look to see if you can see daylight, any cracks, any damage. Some roofs are lined. The roof above the top end of the house, one of those roofs is lined, so I'll have to get up on the roof and actually physically check that from up there. But inside the roof you can usually see, if you can see clear daylight, we've got some light coming through but I can't see the sky, which is a good thing. If you've got daylight and you can see the sky, it's time to do something to patch up that hole. This roof I checked last year, so I'm not expecting to find too much. And so far I haven't found anything that needs my attention. I can't find any wet patches, although we had very heavy rain last night. And I can't see the sky, so I'm going to call this good. I will check from outside when I'm up doing the chimneys, but I think I'm in good shape so far for the winter. Now that the outside of the house is ready for winter, we have to think about the inside of the house, most importantly heating. Now we use a pechka, in fact we use two pechkas to heat our house. Max now has the aircon unit which will heat his bedroom. The most important thing with the pechka is to make sure it's clean and ready for use. Make sure the grates are clean, you've taken out any debris, cleaned out any dust, cobwebs, anything that's built up over the summer. Once you've done that, you can turn your attention to the pipes and the chimneys. Ours has been cleaned and is ready for the winter. Got the wood ready. All I need now is the colder weather. Next we need to take down the pipes, take them down to the big barn, clean them out and make sure there's nothing obstructing them. After that I can clean the chimney. You may remember this from last year. This is what I used to sweep the chimney. It's a heavy weight with a wire brush on a rope. I get up on the roof, dangle it down the chimney, move it up and down. It sweeps the chimney for me and I pull it out when I'm finished. So now that your petrola's sorted, it's always good to have an alternative heating source, just for those occasional chilly mornings or evenings. You also may get power cuts, which won't affect your petrola, but may affect other things. So a torch, make sure it works. Also make sure any form of heating that you have also works. The good thing about these heaters is you know pretty much straight away whether they're working or not. So now that you've got that sorted, you're pretty much ready for winter.
The other thing we got caught out with last week when we had all the power cuts was having all my tea light holders with no tea lights in them. And of course they're hidden away underneath many things.
Yeah, in a tin somewhere.
Yeah, and so we had to get those all sorted out and stacked up again with new tea lights for this year.
So we've done that again in preparation for winter. The other thing to look at is any external pipes or taps. As the winter gets colder and the water freezes, that can rupture your tap. So if you can drain them down, do so.
Yeah, we won't do that just yet. Wait till it gets a little bit colder.
It's not cold enough yet.
The other unforeseen thing we had, due to Adam not putting his tools away, nothing new there. I was in the kitchen and suddenly there was an awful racket came from outside and I rushed out to find Benny attacking something.
This is what she saw.
And what is it that Benny thinks is so dangerous that Hamish wants to take for a walk? Oh, Daisy's having a quick look. Benny's very suspicious of it though, he doesn't like it at all. It's the chimney brush and the weights.
Yes, he was very upset by it. He didn't want it in our garden path at all.
Yes, we're not quite sure what it had done to offend him so much.
I think he might have gone to sniff it and got his nose poked.
But it'll teach me to put my tools away if I don't want a barking dog.
Perhaps that's a new use for the dogs. Train them to bark at Adam if he doesn't put his tools away.
Doesn't happen very often, really.
The other thing we did this week, we delivered Lily to a new home.
Yes, we had a day out on Monday.
And we went to visit Sarah, who was taking Lily too.
Yes.
And she seemed to settle in quite well while we were there.
I think so, yes. I think she's going to be very happy there.
Yeah. She looked, Sarah did send us some photos and has promised us some more, so when we get some we'll put them in the next video. Yeah. But she looked very content.
Oh yes.
Well, she did fall in the fish pond. So we're down to 4 puppies now.
And soon to be 3 years. Benny's being collected on Sunday.
That'll just leave us with Hamish, Shep and Daisy.
Yes. And we think we might end up with those 3 anyway, so. But if you do want one, not too late.
Well, it's a lot better than what we thought we were going to end up
Yes, 3 is better than 8.
Yeah. And 6 dogs is better than 11.
Definitely. On the way back from delivering Lily, I had a little run-in, shall we say, with the traffic police again. This time I think it may have been my fault.
Yes, after not being stopped by the police at all in the first 2 years we were out here, or 18 months we were out here. In the last 3 months, I think we've been stopped about 6 times.
It's been silly. But this time, according to them, I went through a stop sign. Now I remember coming up to the junction, looking, nothing there, so I went. And they were just round the corner, they flagged me across. Took my licence, took my passport, took my residency card, wandered off. After about 5 minutes they called me across to their car and they gave me a pink slip, which is a fine for going through a stop sign. Now you have 7 days from the day after you're stopped to pay it. It was a grand total of 20 lev, so about £9. You can pay through ePay apparently, but I did try that and it wouldn't accept my residency number because it's not a Bulgarian number, it's a foreign resident number.
That was online.
That was online, trying to go through the ePay system. On the bottom of the form it directs you to the Ministry of the Interior website where you can also pay. I went there, it accepted my numbers, it was paid, took me about 5 minutes. So if you do get one of these fines, it's possible to pay it from the comfort of your own home rather than running around to the nearest Easy Pay office.
Which Adam was dreading doing because he thought they would have, if he couldn't pay it online, how would they be able to do it at the office?
Yes, it didn't seem to make much sense, but no, use the address on the form. It's quite easy really.
Yeah, all done and dusted.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, the form was in English and Bulgarian.
Yes, I think because the EU's official language is English, they put it in both languages, which helped me no end.
So we've just been tidying up the garden, doing bits and bobs, haven't we, the rest
Yes,
of the week?
preparing for our big jobs, which, as you know, is the family room. We've done some of the prep work towards putting in the stairs into the lamb oven room, but we'll show you that next week. But yes, it's just been business as usual as we come towards the colder time of year.
Well, the house did decide to help you.
It did. We had a very small ceiling collapse.
There'd been a loose bit of plaster in the corridor for quite a while. We could see it hanging down, but we hadn't really done anything about it.
It's not loose anymore.
No, it came down.
It's not there at all. So
we think that was the house's way of saying, come on, get a move on.
So I'm going to have to get a move on, really, aren't I?
But say the puppies will be going down to the compound full time next week, so we'll start on these rooms then.
Yeah. And there was no excuse then.
No excuse, Adam. No excuse.
So, one little thing that did pass this week, Monday, the day we delivered Lily, was also the 2nd anniversary of us arriving here at the house.
It was.
So that's 2 years, and, well, if you want to know what we've been up to,
It's a big back catalogue.
there's a few videos to wade through, but
We haven't got up to quite as much as we wanted to.
no, but things have intervened,
Yeah.
as they do.
We were delayed for a long time by not being sure we could get Max out here, so we didn't start any major renovation work till we knew Max was definitely going to be able to come.
Absolutely, and the dogs have slowed us down this year.
Yeah, so that's your excuse and you're sticking to it.
Of course. So for all of you who have been following us over the last 2 years, thank you very much. We're not sure why.
But we do appreciate it and we love the comments.
Yeah. So thank you again.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably about it for us this week.
Well, the only other things to mention.
Oh, what's that?
We were going to introduce, at a suggestion from Sarah actually, who we went to deliver Lily to, we're going to bring back our takeaway Fridays now that the nights are drawing in.
Yes. Through the summer, not having the Petchka on, it made it a bit awkward. But once we start bringing the Petchka back, we can start doing the takeaways.
Yeah. So anybody got any suggestions for cuisine types or meals we should cook? And we'll have a
Nothing
bash.
too complicated, please.
No, we're all right with complicated. There's 3 of us.
Yes. I'll help eat it.
We just haven't got a very complex kitchen.
No. So, but we've worked around that for 2 years. I'm sure we can manage.
Yeah.
So that's it from us this week.
Until next week,
Stay safe.
stay well.
Do skoro.
Do skoro.